All right, 30, I'm going to show you how to wedge clay. So what is wedging clay? Why do we do it? What's the purpose, etc. So the first thing you need to know is when you grab a bag of clay out of here, some of these bags are really messy looking, like scraps of clay, and it's clay. Kids are usually like, I don't want to use that. Well, that's all I have, and that's what you have to use, okay? It might not look pretty like it just came from the clay factory. So I have a little, quill pot that I made. I want to put this back in the bag, but I want to be nice and I want to wedge it. Or let's say, actually just pulled this out of the bag. What can I do to this to make it look prettier or reusable? I have to wedge it. So why do we need to wedge clay? I have this beautiful poster up here on the wall. Why do we wedge clay? Number one, wedging is aligning the particles of the clay, okay? It's mixing it up, it's making it even. Number two, wedging is evening the moisture. So sometimes when I recycle clay, some clay is really hard and some is really wet. If I get hard clay and wet clay and I mix it together, it makes perfect clay. And then the third reason to compress clay is to get all the air out. Because if I fire a clay piece with an air bubble, it could potentially break or burst in the kiln. So to wedge, you'll come to the wedging table. Sometimes I have these fabrics down. Sometimes it's just the plaster. I prefer you wedge on the fabric. If not, just do it on the plaster. Make sure the plaster looks clean though, okay? So what you make sure everything's clean, and you just start rolling, kind of like you're kneading clay, and you push, and you push, and you push, okay? So I have my hunk. You can see that it's smushed and it looks like it's curling up. I turn it the other way, and I just start pushing, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. There's a paper towel. I'm gonna take that out. Push and pull, push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. So again, what is this doing? This is aligning the clay particles and making them even. This is evening out the moisture. So let's say it's a little wetter in some spots. The wetness will mix in with the not so wet clay. And then this should be getting rid of any air bubbles if I'm wedging correctly by pushing and pulling. So that is wedging clay. You have to wedge clay if you are rolling a slab. You have to do this. If the clay comes straight from the factory in a pretty little bag, you don't have to wedge. But if the clay's been used, you have to wedge. No ifs, ands, or buts.